Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guide. Welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. We've got an unbelievable show lined up for you this week. I tell you what, we're going to head on down to Texas. Actually, it was in Indianapolis, where we're with Taryn Warren.
You know, Ernie, we've covered a lot of stories with ranch riding and versatility, but this is equitation. This is a whole new growing category in which people are getting involved in.
It really has been big here in the Midwest. Way to kind of take your horse and get him broker and just have a lot of fun with it.
And then we'll be heading down to Weatherford, Oklahoma, and we'll be talking to our good friend Phil Haugen, who will give us an idea of how to keep our horses nice and soft and supple and a little lateral flexing.
Winner of the Linderman Award in PRCA, which means both ends of the arena. Phil is a tremendous horseman and a good friend, and really looking forward to being down there with him.
And then we're going to head down to Lewisburg, Kansas, in which, Ernie, you had a chance to talk to Dr. Maureen Sutter, and she's going to introduce us to the process of chipping your horse.
Yeah, that was a big deal. This chipping, just a great service that is being offered now to identify your horses. It's going to be just a wonderful deal with her, and she's just a tremendous vet. You're really going to enjoy her. We're talking about the battle within. We had our Hardy Grub with Mark Burkdahl to kind of prove out that we're more than just about horses. We're about helping people in the industry. I feel like it's our responsibility to help them. And that was just great to have that and have that great meal we did. Auction was out of this world. And as you can see, there are a lot of horse people there at it there. We're so glad you guys tuned in today to Better Horses TV. We look forward to you every week. So let's go on that ride right now, Ed, and come back and maybe eat a little grub.
Get a little cup of coffee?
Yep.
In a natural, free-roaming situation, horses graze nearly constantly throughout the day and night. When feeding horses in stables, it's ideal to try to mimic this feeding behavior. Horses in stabled conditions should be fed their hay so they can pick at it continuously between feedings. Visit our website at stanleyforage.com under Nutrition, then Nutritional Resources to help transition your horse from winter to spring in the coming weeks.
Hi, this is Pastor Frank with Open Range Fellowship. Rocky and I have been mowing pastures, probably like you have been too. It's called maintenance, and we take care of our farms and our ranches, sometimes meticulously. But our Christian lives, sometimes we kind of let that go. We need to do maintenance there as well, through worship and prayer, and whatever we can do to connect with God. So let's just go to the Lord in prayer. Lord, we just thank you for this day, and we thank you for the opportunity to do some maintenance in our own lives. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, Rocky and I, we got to get back to work. God bless you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Back in the saddle and out on the trail with Ernie the horse guy, now fun will prevail. We'll meet the best horsemen under the sun. Tip our hats to the ladies, keep the good Lord number one. Ride along, sing your song. Along with better horses, we're right where we belong. Faith and love from up above. The best of the good life's yet to come.
When you're a barrel racer, there are so many things that can bother a horse. Just eliminating the back issues is a huge advantage. After using a CSI saddle pad, my horses have improved by having minimal to no soreness across their back. The saddles stay put where they're supposed to be. I feel like using a CSI saddle pad has given me an advantage over other girls because I know that my horse is feeling good, that saddle's not bothering him. If you're looking for a new saddle pad, invest in a CSI. It's worth the investment.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guide and welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. We're at the Hoosier Horse Fair and I'm here with just a tremendous horseman, and we're talking about Taryn Warren from Milano, Texas.
Thanks for having me.
We run into each other again.
We do. I saw you a few years ago.
What a great job you did. I mean, you're a great horseman, first of all.
Thank you.
But you've taken this working equitation and taken it to another level. Tell us a little bit about this. Why the passion with this?
This is a sport I came to about 6 years ago, and it intrigued me, and what I found was that I had really great horses before this sport. They did everything I wanted them to do. I came to this sport and I found that there was something missing. This has obstacles in really tight areas, and my horses were just missing something. So it intrigued me because I had to go back to the drawing board and learn more about the biomechanics of the horse and how to support these horses in a way that they could accomplish the task. You're never perfect at it, so you're always having to fix and tweak something, and it just keeps my attention. It helps my students get better. I just love the sport.
And you are the executive director of the
Confederation for Working Equitation. Yes.
This has really given Western dressage a purpose. Let's talk about that.
I agree. I've ridden dressage. After being in a small arena for several years, it just lost interest to me. But what I've found in coming back to the sport of working equitation is that it gives my dressage a purpose. Dressage, in its roots, means training. Okay, so we have to focus on getting these horses correct from the tail forward, coming through the back, keeping the hind leg under. And when I had to actually apply what I knew to these obstacles, then the horses had to get better and learn the training, learn the mechanics better to be successful at this sport. So it gives my dressage a purpose. I can apply it to the obstacles. It also applies to the cow work. When these horses don't have the good mechanics that are required in dressage, they really suffer in their cow work. So it's made my cow horses better. It's made my reining horses better. It's helped all my students trail horses better and safer. The riders, when they can control that horse better with the hind leg, they're safer out on the trail. They can handle the spooks better, and it's really helped a lot of my novice riders, my amateur riders.
Well, and it's not so intimidating with the speed and everything else.
Correct.
You go at a nice, easy speed, and everything's under control.
Absolutely. And even in the speed round, what I tell my students is that if you're not ready for the canter, you trot it, you walk it, you do what you need to do, but what you're trying to focus on is the mechanics, because once you get to the canter, it's all muscle memory. So
there's viewers out there watching this and say, you know what, I think I can do this. I think my horse can do this. What should they look for in their horse as far as to qualify to get in this working equitation?
So the great thing about it is that we have levels from walk trot all the way through the upper levels where they're cantering with flying lead changes everywhere.
Wow.
So it progresses up through the levels. What they need to look for in their horse is just to have a willing partner. Any horse can learn to do this. Any rider can learn to do it. It's going to improve. We've got gaited horses. We've got draft crosses, quarter horses, Lusitanos, every breed that you can imagine competing in this sport, and they're all successful because it's about the mechanics, not about breeding for a certain.
And this sport is growing.
It's
really
growing fast. Yeah, I mean exponentially. I think last year we had 40 shows throughout the U.S. This year we're on track for 60, and it's just going to keep growing.
And look what it's done for giving these horses other purpose. They might not be a top-notch reining horse, but they could do super at this.
And that's the great thing, is at the end of the day, it's the all-around horse that takes home the top prize. They can't just be good at dressage. They can't just be good at obstacles. They can't just be good at speed. They have to have the mechanics to do the whole thing. And you don't even have to win a single phase and still come home the top horse. It's going to be the most consistent horse at the end of the day. So you're looking for those all-around horses.
Well, we can't tell. We hope we get to meet up again.
Absolutely.
Doing a super job. I'll tell you what, Taryn Warren from Milano, Texas, thank you for bringing up our insight on the working equitation.
Thank you for having me.
What's the best way folks can get a hold of this association to find out where their nearest association is?
Sure. So if you email information at confederationwe.us, we can get you the information.
And we'll have that on our website. Perfect. Thanks so much for being a part of Better Horses TV.
Thank you.
You care about your animals and feeding them the best. And that's where Purina's local Kansas City dealers step in, providing you experience, knowledge, service, and advice. Purina feed dealers are people who believe in community involvement and who believe in you. They have a passion for the feed industry and are committed to helping customers unlock the potential of every animal. If you are looking for a trusted source for your animals, look no further than your local Purina feed dealer, your partner in animal care.
Hey Ernie, thanks for coming down and having us on this episode of Better Horses TV. This week I'm going to continue talking about creating softness in your horse, and eventually that's going to lead to softness in our turns and in our stops. So today, what I'm going to talk about is softening your horse laterally and how that's going to help lead into our stops, okay? So when you go to soften your horse laterally, always remember there's two things that have to happen. Number one, that horse has to get off the bridle. Number two, they got to stop moving their feet. Think about this. When you go to stopping your horse and you want a nice smooth stop, what are two things you want to happen? Number one, you want them to get off the bridle and not pull on your hands. And number two, they got to stop moving their feet. I mean, that's a stop. They stop moving their feet, that's a stop, okay? So the way I begin with that is with my lateral flexion. When I run my hand down my rein and I bring my rein to my leg, those two things have to happen right there. Slider got off the bridle and his feet are dead still. Now this horse is a great demonstration horse for the simple reason is he weighs 1,300 pounds, okay? If you don't have a horse like this, soft and supple and responsive, a 1,300 pound horse, you're not going to stop him. You know, if he wants to run off or go wherever he wants to go and not listen to your hands and the responses that you're asking for, there's no way you're going to control this horse. So Slider, and a little bit of background on him, yesterday we were roping calves on him. Well, when you're roping calves on a horse, you're asking them to run really hard, stop really hard. It doesn't create a lot of softness in a horse when they're just accelerating, sprinting, and then jumping into a stop. So today is a great day to soften him back up. So I begin with my lateral flexion. I apply that contact in his mouth. He gets off the bridle, and his feet are dead still. Now, when you think about this, if you go do that on the left side and the right side, okay, you've not only softened that horse up in the face, but you've softened that horse up in this rib cage. For a horse to really stop good or turn good, they have to flex in their rib cage, either side to side or up and down, okay? For a horse to really stop good, that rib cage has got to elevate, okay? For a horse to turn really good, that rib cage has got to flex right to left, depending on which direction you're turning, okay? So the next exercise I'm going to do to get him ready for his stop is just a simple figure 8 exercise. And when I do that, I'm going to pick up on my inside rein, okay, squeeze my horse forward, and I'm going to go to the left. Then I'm going to pick up my right rein, squeeze my horse forward, and I'm going to go to the right, to the left, to the right. Okay? Real simple exercise, but just think about this. When you're doing that simple figure 8 exercise, what's this horse's inside hind leg doing? That inside hind leg is starting to step up and get up underneath this horse, okay? So basically you're helping this horse with his left side, then his right side, left side, right side, and at the same time he's staying soft in the face. So down the road, when we sit down and we drop our hands and push down on our heels and ask for a stop, we've already started to soften that horse in their stop by doing this simple exercise, okay? So think about this when you're getting ready to create a good stop in your horse. That softness in the face has to continue through this horse's body. And when I pick up on this rein, I want this leg coming forward, okay? I want this leg, this rein, when I pick up on this rein and ask for that softness in his face, I want that inside hind leg coming forward, just like I was doing in that figure 8 exercise, okay? So, though it seems funny that an exercise where you're moving forward and changing directions like that figure 8 exercise helps you in your stop, at that same time you're softening that horse in his head, neck, shoulders, rib cage, and hind quarters. And for a horse to be really good in their stop, they need to be soft in all 5 body parts. That's my training tip for this week. Again, Ernie, thanks for having us on Better Horses TV. We love the show. Anybody watching, if you want to contact us, go to philhaugenhorsemanship.com. send us an email, or you can message us on Facebook, Phil Haugen Horsemanship. Thanks again for joining us this week, and have a great week of training.
Hey, we'll be right back with more Better Horses TV, so stay tuned.
Your buddy Ron once said he could install your ceiling fan. He couldn't. And that one time, Ron said another chili dog was a good idea? Yeah, it wasn't. So when Ron said you'd never afford a John Deere tractor, you knew better. Now, Ron does too. The E-Series, legendary John Deere quality, unexpected low price.
Stop by and see Heritage Tractor at one of its 9 locations for your John Deere and Featherlight trailer needs. HeritageTractor.com. Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy. Welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. I'm out here at the beautiful Equus Corrido Equine Center, EC Equine Center, south of Lewisburg, and we got a special day going on. And so glad I got to take a little time out with Dr. Sutter at Red Oak Animal Hospital up there at Bucyrus. Welcome to Better Horses.
Thank you.
You know, 30-some years ago, we wouldn't even know what we were talking about right here. This is a, what type of day do we call this?
We are here for a chipathon.
Tell us what a chipathon is.
So we are here to promote microchipping horses. The main benefit of microchipping horses is identification and verifying horse with registry and that kind of stuff.
You do health, did health studies out, I mean, to get health certificates and everything out here?
We can, yes,
Yeah.
yes. We can do a few other things, but
you're looking at today's climate and people traveling all across the world, horses going all over. We're in the middle of disasters with tornadoes and things like that. This is a pretty cool deal.
It is. So it definitely is a way to verify identification. Numbers will be logged online that if you do find a horse and get it scanned and can verify who it is, who it belongs to.
If my audience has watched me videoing this thing here, it's pretty seamless. I mean, it doesn't take very long, doesn't hurt the horse, and as far as pretty safe as far as for the horse.
Yes, correct. It is very safe for the horse. It's a needle a little bit larger than what we normally use for vaccinations. We prep the skin, make sure it's all clean. We put it always on the left side of the horse's neck, midway between the poll and the withers. Always scanning them before, make sure they don't have a microchip already. And then we put it in right into the ligament that's in there.
Well, I tell you what, it's really, this stables out here is like really stepping out of the box as far as making sure we have safety, we do the most for the horse. And what was really kind of neat is you took a blood sample for strangles. Mm-hmm. And tell us about that, because it's just not as easy as taking a blood sample. I mean, it could vary. Tell us what we're looking for there.
So running the strangles titer, we send that off to the lab, and we are looking at what their titer is. Unfortunately, we don't know what level is actually protective for the horse, but we do know that there's a cutoff that if they're above that titer, if they have extra antibodies in their body, if we vaccinate them and give them more through the strangles vaccination, we can cause a complication called purpura hemorrhagica, which is an autoimmune disease.
Another level as far as taking safety to another level.
Yes.
So if it's too high, you won't vaccinate. Won't vaccinate. Well, a lot of folks don't even think about that. Well, really great. And you know what, more and more, as far as across the country and everything else, people have to deal with strangles and everything else, and I think taking it to this type of level is just another way of stepping outside the box.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'll tell you what's really neat. What's next? I mean, here we are doing these chipping on horses and everything, and believe me, folks, I watched them, and you'll see, doesn't bother the horse one bit. Great way, like I said, you think of all these disasters, floods and everything like that. I bet there's a lot of people out there wish that they had their horse chipped.
Correct. I know in a lot of the disasters they're putting things on halters, little tags and that kind of stuff, obviously things that can fall off for identification. And so again, with the chip in there, it is permanent identification. Any veterinarian that has a scanner, they're universal scanners, so they can pick it up even if it's a different company that put in the microchip.
Well, I want to tell the folks out there, and I'm going to tell you, we are so lucky to have vet hospitals, vet clinics like yourselves, yours and Dr. Todd Welch and everything else. I mean, you guys, it's so competitive out there, and you've got to be on your game, and you do a super job, and appreciate all you do for the horse industry and Dr. Todd and all that, and thank you so much for being a part of Better Horses TV with Dr. Sutter at Red Oak Animal Hospital.
Thank you.
No matter what discipline of riding you do, training, showing, and everyday stress is hard on your horse's legs. Dechra Veterinary Products is a leading lameness company that brought you Osphos. Osphos is a clodronate injection, an intramuscular bisphosphonate to help control the clinical signs of navicular syndrome in horses 4 years and older. Ask your veterinarian if Osphos is right for your horse. Dechra Veterinary Products is a proud sponsor of The American.
Hi, this is Sarah Leonard with Purina Animal Nutrition. Today I'd like to talk to you about our Outlast Gastric Support System. Outlast is a really cool product that we've been enjoying the benefits of for the last year and a half. We have it included in several of our feeds as well as a supplement, so we can actually top dress it or feed it in the feeds. The product is actually a calcium and magnesium source that's very porous in its structure, a honeycomb structure, and it works kind of like Ernie would say, as a Tums for horses. It gets in the stomach and it actually helps raise the pH in the stomach and neutralize the acidity in the stomach so the horse is more comfortable. If you think that your horse might have ulcers or might be challenged with the lesions that cause discomfort for a horse, and you feed Outlast and you see an improvement, we would recommend that you work with your veterinarian and you get on a protocol with him to treat the ulcers, and then you use Outlast as part of your maintenance program. So Outlast can be fed twice a day in a meal and then can even be provided in between meals as a snack. So if you include the Outlast in our feeds, you can actually buy it separately and use it for a snack before you ride, before you load, before you do anything that your horse would consider as stressful. Great products, great way to neutralize the stomach fluid and make your horse more comfortable. And I would really encourage you to work with your independent Purina dealer out there. Our independent dealers are trained on Outlast. They understand how to incorporate Outlast in your formulas, in your meals that you're feeding your horses, or independently. Even if you're not feeding our brand, we would encourage you to try Outlast and see if it makes a difference for your horse.
Should always be your word. American cowboy, never leave the herd.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy. Welcome to Ottawa, Kansas. Welcome to the Better Horses TV show in the Hardy Grub. I'm here with the most unbelievable chef. Mark, you're right in your realm right here.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. This is the kind of stuff we do. We just love it.
You're saying, well, what's this have to do with horses? The fact of the matter is, we're more than just horses, Mark.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of cowboys in there, but it is. Look at the community where we got involved in this thing. And you got involved in this thing.
Great
It's
cause.
awesome.
And we got Roger. Where's Chef Tail Roger? You put him back in the back?
Roger and Scott's over there turning the steaks for us, and I'm goofing off.
Tell us what you think of these Valley Oak steaks.
Oh man, they're really good. We've got a few samples out here. I mean, they're top-notch steaks, and thank you guys for donating.
And thank you folks for being a part of this, because this is what pays for the program, for our vets and for our first responders. This is what pays for it. This is what makes it go. It's all a volunteer, and this is how we get this thing going.
It is, and we got a great group of people in there who've come to support the thing. It's really going good.
Yeah, and it's good. You can eat good. We want to thank so many sponsors that made this thing possible. And like I said, to do this, and here he is, Roger Bremel over here. Roger,
hi, folks.
Great to have Roger here.
Steak.
And
no.
but I tell you what, this is the first of many years. I hope we do this. We got something started. Got a big crowd, as you can see in the room there. They look like they're hungry. These steaks, like I said, just out of this world. Connie made a slaw. What do you think of the slaw?
Oh, I had a little sample a while ago. It's out of this world. It's really good.
We got a lot of the products from the Costantino's Price Chopper, which those guys are so great to work with.
They were. Went down to Price Chopper this afternoon, and they set me up with all the produce. We got like 50 pounds of little red potatoes we chunked up, and zucchinis and Brussels sprouts, some of your favorite stuff.
Oh,
so we
you
kind
know
of made
I love Brussels sprouts.
We made a vegetable medley out of it. I'm going to put Parmesan cheese over the top of it, some Italian
You
seasoning.
did get the Parmesan cheese? You said you were going to.
I did. I got it. It's on. It's going on there right as we speak. Yeah,
Well-
it'd be great.
Well,
it should be.
Well, this is, like I said, for such a great cause to see the horsemen in there coming together. You know, Jerry Reese, just to mention a few, here coming down for this great event, which, by the way, we're going to be learning about Jerry Reese's facility out by Alta Vista, Kansas, which is pretty exciting. But this horse deal is a lot of fun. What's next on the agenda has got to be our fishing trip.
Oh yeah, we're going to have that if the mud ever goes away, so we can have it.
Well-
yeah, we'll do that. We'll do a little fishing trip trail ride.
As we were talking, you could tell Mark and I enjoy this, and we have a lot of fun doing this. We never run out of things going on. And this is Marianne just coming up. Marianne, come here, Marianne, come in.
Marianne's going to be one of our servers today.
Servers,
She's in there going to serve taters.
And Marianne, what do you think of this event?
This is just wonderful.
How about unbelievable?
Unbelievable.
There
That's
you
it.
go. Now you got it.
Marianne, we're so glad to have you here. Just a lot of fun working. We got a great bunch of folks in there. And, this is what's really neat about the thing. So we want to thank you for tuning in to our Hearty Grub with Chef Tail Mark
And
out here, Marianne, and the rest of the gang, and Mary.
We got tons of great volunteers in
And
there helping.
it's a great cause. MyBattleWithin.org. Go there, donate. Great organization, and let's get our soldiers, get them well, get our first responders well. And thank you so much for watching Better Horses TV.
What do you get when you bring together one of the biggest names in veterinary medicine with one of the most caring and committed teams of horse health experts in the industry? You get a vaccine portfolio known for its quality and safety, a pharmaceutical line you can rely on to help manage pain and support performance. You get the products, programs, and people of Merck Animal Health.